Hey, my friends, I'm Elaine. Thank you for joining me today. And I have a couple things sitting out here on the counter because this is a product review. Should you be following me for the 2024 year, you will see I've been introducing recipes that can help us with weight loss. If we focus on our health and our diet and what we are adding to or removing from, can potentially help us lose weight, feel better, and be healthier and stronger bodies. This segment does not necessarily focus on weight loss foods, so it's kind of a step away from that category. So if you either need a break or you want something that's a little different, maybe that adds the bread into the diet, if you notice, I am doing a weight loss plan without including breads or a limited amount of breads in the diet. Sometimes, however, the natural person will say, wow, I really just want X. And although, depending on what it is, it's not great to navigate away from what you're doing that's helping your body, that's setting it up for success. So to take a step back and maybe add something in that could lead to failure, we don't want to do that. But I do understand the need to sometimes just have something a little different that's outside of kind of that mode. And hopefully, as the year progresses, it'll be a step outside of the mode, anyhow, to view the foods and the recipes that I'm sharing as being weight loss. It will just be this is what is healthy and necessary for my body to have success and to maintain a weight that I'd like to maintain. So what's on the counter today? I have had a couple questions come up about vegans with waffle makers. In times past, when we tried to make, at least I know for me, when I tried to make waffles on a waffle maker being of vegan ingredients, I didn't have much success. A lot has changed and I've modified a lot of recipes to be able to achieve the results that I like or get close to something that may be full fat, full sugar, etc. I am a fan of consumer reports and looking at a variety of different waffle makers, there's one top of the line that I thought, yes, that's the one I want. Is it practical? I'm not going to eat that many waffles. I may use the waffle maker, and as we move on, I may use the waffle maker for things other than waffles to create some fun dish ideas and things like that. But in general, a waffle maker isn't something that I'm going to want it to take up the countertop space that I don't have. The particular one that I was looking at was, I want to say around $250, $270 for that unit. And I believe it could fold up and sit on your shelf or sit in a cabinet space. But if you join me for lots of videos, you see my kitchen. It's not a huge kitchen. I would love a new kitchen. So Property Brothers, someone come and redo my kitchen. I would love to walk you around and you see these beautiful countertops and specialty storage niches and spaces. So someone want to do my kitchen? Come find me. So back to reality. This waffle maker ended up being like number 3 as far as waffle makers for Consumer Reports. And surprisingly, it is a drastic drop in price. So because I am not looking to make waffles every day, I don't really want to eat bread in my diet, this makes sense for someone like me. I don't really recall the price of this. I want to say it was between $25 and $50. So I guess I could double check my Amazon receipt and put a little note, so maybe it'll be right there and you can see what I did pay for this waffle maker. So we're going to unpack this so you can see what it looks like coming out of the box. I'm going to take a little break and then we will go ahead and get started with some waffles. Now, the waffles, the Birch vendor brand. When I've gone camping with friends before, they like to do different foods at the campsite. So we would kind of try to do things that were a little different at the time the kids were younger and wanting normal foods while you're at the campsite. I ended up finding this brand and bringing it to that adventure, and everyone really received it. So I have had a couple questions of if you were to reach for something off of the store shelf and not make one of your keto pancakes or one of your full, I say full fat, but uh, just all purpose flour type recipe, what would you reach for? And it would be this brand. So this brand does have flavors that are targeted, or I should say, available for the use by vegans. And this is one of the flavors. So it is a sweet potato flavored mix. In reading the ingredients, it also does include different powders of different vegetables, such as carrot and zucchini. So that tries to make it a little bit more favorable. It does have cane sugar in it, and I am not doing any sugar. So this is something that I most likely will not reach for from the shelf, and I will stick to creating my own batters for the waffle maker or when I do pancakes. But I was asked the question, and so there's my answer. We'll go ahead and take a look at how this cooks on the waffle maker. So again, let's get started with unboxing it. So this is my first time opening the box, and this is what it looks like. So we have a little quick start guide along with another little manual for it. So it does come pretty nicely packed in the styrofoam type packaging. Oh, that's great. It looks like it comes with a little batter cup, and my guess is to keep it from overflowing when you do pour the mixture into the waffle maker. So that's a great plus. I'm holding the waffle maker here. Nice size for a kitchen like mine that is a little bit on the small side. And I believe it was available with a variety of different finishes. This is the stainless steel top. It looks like it has a little scratch in it or a little dent in it already. So, but I think there were other finishes like a red, I think a black, and so forth. So you definitely can select a certain finish that you might have or want. I will say Consumer Reports did note that the handle of it, and I don't know if they've modified the handle since they reviewed it, but there is like a rubberized texture on the top of it. So maybe that will help with touching it and the coolness of this portion here. So that was something I do have as a mental note. And just looking at it, I almost wonder, it looks like no one has had it before, but it almost seems like it was a little used. So I'll take a picture just to show the little scuff marks that are on the inside. But I'll go ahead and also clean the waffle maker as well as the batter cup, and we will go from there. Okay, so I went ahead and cleaned it, and I think this will be going back. Not only the damage, but the directions do read to remove the stickers that were inside as well as on the surface. No stickers, and it looks like there's a little part of the nonstick missing here. It's more of a scar. So we'll test it for now, but right off the bat, kind of thumbs down with the way it shipped and how I received it. So let's go ahead and get started with the batter. We're going to just follow the instructions as is. So I do have 2 cups of the mix in my bowl. For 2 cups of mix, they recommend 1 1/3 cups of water. So we're going to add that to the mix. We're also going to add 2 tablespoons of oil. I have my whisk, So that seems to whisk up pretty smoothly, pretty well, pretty quickly. Um, it's just not something I think, though, that we would really want in this home. We've gotten really used towards the end of last year and now the beginning of this year of not doing sugar. So even my son is going, Mom, I really don't want to eat it with sugar in it. So I think outside of however this turns out, we will be sticking to our sugar-free kind of approach to life. So once that is mixed, they suggest then turning on the waffle maker. So just looking at the underside, the cord is stored under there. So I will just loop that out, get this plugged in, turned on, and we'll go from there. So it indicates to turn it on to the temperature that you would desire. The lower temperature would mean a lighter waffle, and the darker to max would be dark type of waffle. So I turned it on. We're going to wait until the green light is lit, and I will just tilt it up a little bit so you can see that. So right now it is on. Ooh, if you can see that steam just come out. So it is on. We're going to wait for the green portion to light up. We'll know that we're ready for that temperature. It reads to start with about a half a cup, just to get used to the waffle maker to make sure it doesn't overflow. And then from there, you can adjust accordingly. So for the next waffle, if you think you maybe need towards that 2/3 mark, cup mark, it can take that, or maybe you need a little less. So this should be a handy little tool. Okay, so we turned on the waffle maker. I put it on 4, so kind of in between the lowest, which is minimum, or 1 to maximum. So kind of midway point there. The green light is lit. I'm going to release that, get some batter, and maybe depending on where my ladle pours, I might just use my ladle. And if I'm being exact, we're right at a half cup. So I may just use my ladle from here on out. It did not indicate to spray with any sort of non-stick or oil or anything like that. So I'm just going to follow the manufacturer's suggestion. It looks like I could use potentially just a little bit more in there. So we will get a little closer to the 2/3 cup. We'll go ahead, close that down, and we will let that cook until that light comes on again. The green light just came on, so we will carefully lift that lid up. It would be great if there were little waffle grabbers, but I'll just use my tongs here. So that's the look at the underside. I can tell you, it looks like we can continue. That green light is still lit, so we can continue. Just kind of feeling the texture of that, and I will take that up maybe to the maximum, because the texture of the waffle, and maybe it'll firm up as it sits for a little bit, but and with it being sweet potato mix, it may be a little softer, but this was the mix I was asked if I tried before. It's firmer. It's a bit firmer on the underside. That was on the underside of the waffle maker. And then on the top, it's a little bit more soft. So not exactly like a waffle that I would be beelining for if I wanted a waffle. I like the crisper texture to it. So far, cooking it on 4, which is 2 steps away from the maximum, is not ideal for me. So someone out there may be saying, yes, that's how I like my waffle. That's the perfect temperature for you. So now I am on max, and we'll open that up. The green light came on. I'm going to use my ladle here. Get that in. There we go. And we're going to get this closed. And I'm just going to check. Light goes off. Once light comes back on, we will check to see the status of that waffle. And it did take about 2 maybe to 3 minutes for the waffle. So we'll wait another 2 to 3 minutes. So once again, about 2.5 minutes. That time I did set my stopwatch, and it looks like even at the maximum amount of temperature, it's still a very light color to it. So almost seems like you need to do what I just did, flip it, and let that cook for a little bit longer, but that's not how it's designed to perform. So to me, it gave about the same color as number 4 did, and that is very soft. I will say that that is something that I found when trying to make waffles as a vegan for myself years ago. No matter what I did to the recipe to come across as being soft. So I'm thinking it could be that it is the sweet potato mixture that's doing that, perhaps, but also the waffle maker may have a key component to it. Both of the waffles, as the image shows, are kind of the same coloration, so very light in color. And we're looking at the top side of both of them as they were in the waffle maker. It is very soft. It almost has a sort of dense texture feeling of like a pancake, but not even fluffy like a pancake. It's just almost feels a little rubbery. So that could potentially be the mix, and that could potentially be the waffle maker is not doing its job. I will say for me, I do not recommend this waffle maker, nor will I be keeping it. It was going back anyhow because I think it has been used before, but I don't think I will keep it. And it kind of surprises me because I tend to stick with Consumer Reports, and usually if I purchase something off of their recommended window, it tends to be a product that I've liked in times past. So I'm really surprised with this. So potentially it could be the mix. So part of me is thinking, maybe do I try a different type of batter to see how that fares in the waffle maker? Or perhaps, and actually the light just came on, let's have a look-see. And same thing, very light pancake. And I'm calling it a pancake, it's a waffle, Elaine. But I think because it's so soft and it's not coming off as a waffle, I'm calling it a pancake. So maybe if we flip it and go for an additional minute or 2 to see if that will crisp up. And then if you are liking the price point of this one and you're thinking, well, I can make do with that, or you're a person who says, hey, I love softer waffles, I don't want them to be crisp, then this may be a product for you. Or as I flipped it over, I'm going to see if maybe cooking it another 2.5, let's set a timer here, 2.5 minutes, and I'll check it up to that point to see how the underside looks, but maybe that might make it crispy. So if you have more time to make your waffles than what it should take, again, maybe this might be an economical waffle maker for your home. So it's only been a minute. The light has come back on from me flipping it. So I think it's registering, hey, I think this is done. The underside is still very soft. So the top has a firm texture to it. The underside is still soft. So a minute does not do the trick. So let's see if that light goes off or if I'm just going to keep doing my time. So currently the light is still on. Let's check and see if it goes off and cooks it again or if it thinks it's finished. It isn't finished. The timer has gone off. It's only been about 30 seconds. So I think it realizes that there's not a lot of moisture in this particular pancake or waffle to cook it. It's still very, very soft. So I'll put that one right in the middle, and that's after cooking it about 1.5 minutes longer than the others. So just a little bit darker, but still more firm than the other two, but still not a waffle that I would give a big thumbs up to. So this has been my take for the Chefman Waffle Maker. Again, number 3 on Consumer Reports recommended waffle makers at a great price point, but it just doesn't come up to bat with its batter. How do I feel about the batter? I don't know. I've not tried the waffle. It's not a very appetizing waffle that makes me want to try it. It's not the way I would like a waffle. So, but I will pull a fork out here, do a little bit of a taste test, and let you know what I think. Okay, so let's give an opinion. I did not try the lower settings, but I'll just take a little square from the super soft one. And just looking at that texture, can you see how it's very dense and packy, not light, fluffy. It's on the palate. It gives taste of like a not quite done pancake. So definitely cooking on 4. There's nothing that I would write home about or even be excited about trying that pancake. We'll try just a little small corner here. The edge gives a little bit of that crunch. But again, in the mouth, it leaves a not very done waffle. So, and then cooking it for about 1.5 minutes over the set time. And like, I'm gonna try to be nice and not just go for this piece that looks very undone. Maybe a little bit more crunch, but not desirable. Now, as far as the taste of the mix itself, it doesn't necessarily taste like a potato, and I'm gonna say pancake, but because I've made sweet potato pancakes before, and I think I may have, of course, being a home cook, um, I will add different spices and ingredients, and that's more commercialized to sit on a shelf for an extended period of time. May not necessarily have the flavor that we can put or spices that we can add, tweak it as we like. So just to kind of look at it as a commercial mix, and that it's vegan, that's great. I probably, if I were going camping again and needed pancakes or wanted to take it for the group, I would reach for that brand off the shelf and use it. If maybe I were making pancakes on my griddle and I just needed something really quick and fast to grab, I would grab that brand to use it for that. If I were making waffles, I would not grab that brand to make waffles. Maybe something other than the sweet potato mix might work. The sweet potatoes might just be too moist um, for like cooking a waffle. I'm uncertain at this point. But again, back to the flavor, what do I think? It does give you a vibe that it's something different than just a flour waffle or a flour pancake. Like buttermilk pancake, it has a slightly different taste than that. But it's not something that's significantly like, wow, that is a sweet potato pancake. I think that there is a plus of having the veggies that are supposedly in it, the carrot powder, the zucchini powder, that can make you feel like you're getting your veggies in different meals. That may be a plus. And then also, I will say the carbs are lower than it would be if you were eating a standard all purpose flour type pancake or waffle. And what I did do was I did add the last portion of my batter into the waffle maker, and it has come on and off a couple times to tell me it's ready. So it's been here for probably 5 minutes, I will say. It does come out a little bit firmer. Ah, right there, it feels like a waffle a little bit. I'm gonna turn it over and just let it stay there for a bit and see what happens to it. So maybe for this waffle maker, it needs about 7 minutes to make a waffle. And if that's the timing that goes along with your household, this is the waffle maker for you. I will give it a touch. They may have made a modification since Consumer Reports tested it. It does feel slightly warm, right there. And they do have in their instructions, beware, steam could burn you, could cause burns and things like that. So it does get a little warm there. That does feel warm to the touch, but um, not where I would say, ouch, I'm being burned. It does smell like my waffle is burning, so I am going to go ahead and take it out, and I guess a little over 5 minutes is all that we can get with this one, and that's what that looks like. So very dark on the underside and the top. Still about the same coloration as the others. I think the cooking from the underside is just showing through to the top. So, but it does feel a little bit more crisp in certain areas, but still not very firm. So I'll go ahead and turn him off. So after all of those words and all of the waffles that are sitting here on the table, which no matter how long I seem to cook it, I'm still ending up with a sort of a smushy side, which is the top portion of the waffle maker. It's just not clasping down hard enough to cook both sides evenly. So, do I recommend the waffle maker? I think I said no, I don't. It's not for me. If you want a softer waffle, maybe it's for you, and that was a great review for you. Um, do I recommend the waffle mix? And my response is if I were going camping and I wanted something to take that was already just kind of pre-mixed, just add water, maybe some oil, which is what that is, I would definitely reach for that bag. Um, but just in general, would I reach for it? No. Not only because I'm not eating sugar, and that does have added sugars, cane sugar in it, that I don't want in my body. So, number one, if I just remove that reason out, would I still purchase it for my family? It does have lower carb count. It does have, I think, 2 grams of fiber, or fiber versus a lot of pancake mix has 0. Is that a plus? Yes, it is. But I'd rather just make my own batters. This is bonus information regarding the Chefman. So I was going to be giving this little unit a 1 star just because it was not making waffles to me. But I thought, let me try a different brand. And so what I did was reached for Partake, which is a more low carb type mixture. And you can see the nutritional information right there, which is, I think, pretty good. And this is the waffle that it created. So you can see that is very much like a waffle. And it looks like I am now ready. And I'm going to open that up. And so that's what that looks like coming out of the waffle maker. So I think it does, in fact, produce waffles. So Consumer Reports is correct. I think it is basically the mixture that I was using. So maybe Birch Benders is great for pancakes. Maybe that particular flavor is not great for waffles. So we'll go ahead and get this guy out. And you can see it even moves stiff like a waffle. So that's the top side. And there's the underside. So yes, the underside still definitely does get more heat time, I guess, than the surface. But that definitely acts as a waffle. So I thought I needed to give the Chefman a fair shot since I know Consumer Reports rated it so nicely. So thumbs up for the Chefman. Basically, thumbs for pancakes for the sweet potato birch benders mix. And I did cook these, so if you're wondering what temperature on max to achieve this result. As always, I'm super excited that you join me for my product reviews or any video that I may share with you. I'm always looking for additional content, so just like my friends shoot me ideas or ask me questions to test or to come up with a recipe or an idea for them, I'm happy to do that for you too. So hopefully you will find me to be friendly and you can cook along with me or just share a part of your day with me. I'd love to hear from you. As always, I do hope you like, subscribe, and share this video along with my other videos. I hope you find the content insightful, uplifting, encouraging, and friendly. Please join me again soon. I'll be looking for you. Bye for now.